Today on Give Me Shelter. Brian's foster dog is feral and scared of humans. After a trip to the vet and some training, will she be suitable for adoption?
She get more curious or less curious? Brian?
An emaciated dog is rescued from inside a chicken coop and taken to pet helpers. But will her poor health prevent her from finding a forever home?
She might have some kind of, who knows, some kind of illness or disease.
What's going on, man?
Not much, man.
Try and catch this heathen?
If you hadn't realized it has been a year since we caught her, man. That's kind of crazy.
What, like Thanksgiving or something?
It was the day after Thanksgiving last year. Melody is a feral dog from Socialized. There's been feral dogs out there for many, many years, probably over 20 years. Jason and I have been working out there with the dogs for the last 4 years. We've rescued probably over 300 dogs in that amount of time. Last summer, we had rescued 17 puppies all at one time. We found out shortly after we got the 17 puppies that there were 3 puppies that we did not get. We went out, grabbed one of them, couldn't find the last 2. And then months later, we go out there and we see these 2 adolescent dogs walking around and realize that those are the 2 dogs that we missed. Jason and I decided that we're gonna try to catch these dogs. So we set dog traps. In 30 minutes, we caught the 2 dogs. The boy quickly turned around, got adopted out really quickly. The girl, she was very skittish. She did not want to have anything to do with humans. Put her into foster care, didn't work out in foster care. So this summer, she moved in with me. I've taught her to sit, I've taught her to do a couple tricks, but that only happens with me. So when strangers come over, she reverts right back, just wants to pace around and stay as far away from people as possible.
There are 8 feral adults living on Socialized, and most of them are too difficult to catch. While residents and volunteers leave food for the dogs and let them roam freely, Jason and Brian are building sheds in a fenced-in area. This will allow them to finally trap, spay, or neuter the remaining dogs and prevent more litters from being born, while also securing a safe place for the adult dogs to live.
Got a trainer actually coming over this afternoon to work with her a little bit and give me some pointers.
Who's coming?
Van, that
Oh,
does
yeah,
other stuff?
yeah. Awesome, man. He's a good guy.
Yeah, so.
Good guy. If we can get some training into Melody, then it could be a really big deal. It would make her highly adoptable, and it would also prove to us that there's more hope for adult ferals, because sometimes they snap out of it, and sometimes they never do.
We'll get her in her crate, and we'll get her on. You brought the van?
Yeah, I got the van.
All
unless
right.
you want to put her on the motorcycle, I don't think that's going to work.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'll step back so she actually follows you in.
Melody is due for her annual exam at Pet Helpers, but transporting her to the shelter will be a challenge on its own.
Your room. Good girl. Okay, I'm gonna keep this on here like a cover.
I'll back out.
It's okay, sunshine, don't worry. You'd think it's fairly easy just to take a dog into the shelter and get it shots. With Melody, it's not that easy. I cannot put her on a leash. I can't just walk her out in the car and put her in the car. When we first caught her and we did intake on her, it just really put her in kind of a panic mode. That's what I do not want to have happen today. She's just come so far and gained so much trust in me that I don't want to backtrack any.
An emaciated and neglected dog has just been rescued by Pet Helpers volunteers and brought to the shelter. Beyond her weight, it is unclear if she has any other medical or behavioral issues.
She's so pretty. I think that she's probably I like Irish setter mix or something like that with the long red fur, because not many dogs have that.
Grab a weight on her real quick.
Okay.
She was actually brought in by a couple who we know. The woman is a groomer and has groomed some of our dogs in the past. They were at a relative's house, and the relative pointed out these dogs that were being neglected down the road, and so they went to check it out. She was in a tiny little chicken coop, and so they pleaded with the owner to let them take her, and the owner said sure for $20.
She looks like she's in pretty bad condition. You can count every rib, you can see her hip bones, you can count her vertebra. Really high possibility that at least in the next month, if not the next week, that she would have passed away. So how much did she weigh?
28.4.
So she should probably weigh 40 pounds or more. There aren't that many good, decent people that can look at their own pet dog and watch them get that skinny and not do anything about it. So the fact that that was somebody's actual pet, it was definitely an abuse case, definitely a neglect case.
They said, so what's this one's name? And they said, Buddy. And they were like, but this one's a female. Oh, Buddy's the male, that must be Wrinkles. And then they asked her, why did you name her Wrinkles? And they're like, well, look at her side, look at all of her wrinkles. And they're like, those are her ribs.
Oh my gosh.
How you could possibly think those were wrinkles and not ribs, I will never know. This dog was literally starving to death, and this is why you named her Wrinkles, because you have starved her.
You could name her November.
No. Lassie?
Lass.
Yeah, maybe something like Clover. That's it.
Clover?
It's Clover.
All right. Hopefully she hadn't freaked out yet. Hey girl, remember this place? Melody is kind of a sensitive case. You know, she's one of the souls that didn't really switch it from feral to domesticated very well. She's really taken a liking to Brian, but it's really important for us to get her out of Brian's foster and into a home. You know, he's been really working hard with her. She needs to move on. She needs to get into a forever home.
Because of the severity of Melody's fear of humans, Dr. McKim will have to sedate her to administer the vaccines.
Let's see. Hi, sweetie. Whoa, okay, let's see what happens. Alrighty, we'll keep her quiet.
Hopefully this will work, and she'll settle down so that we can get all this stuff done to her.
You've probably never seen this before, but if you want to look under her ears, she's got all this like grease and excess earwax that's like dripping into her fur.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so if any of the dark black, it looks like coffee grounds, comes back, we'll give her Revolution for ear mites.
Oh, that's ear mites?
If it comes back. It might have just been dirt that I cleaned out. It was really hard to tell without the vet's microscope and everything.
Ear mites can be painful and require extensive treatment, which could deter someone from adopting Clover.
I tried to offer her a treat and she didn't want it.
It's weird, it's like she doesn't know certain things are food. I don't quite know what's going on with that, because I gave her kibble with wet food and she ate it, and the people said that they tried to give her turkey and she wouldn't eat it. So the fact that she ate the kibble with the wet food, maybe she just doesn't know
That's treat?
Yeah, what other stuff is like. She might have some kind of, who knows, some kind of illness or disease. She was kept outside, then chances, there's a really high possibility she's gonna be heartworm positive.
If Clover tests positive for heartworms, not only will she need medical treatment, her activity level will also need to be greatly restricted.
Ready?
Go.
1, 2, 3.
Melody has just been given a sedative to calm her nerves before she receives her annual vaccines.
No, it's okay, girl. It's okay. Oh, it's okay, it's okay. Oh, let's see if you'll let us have that leg.
Although she is sedated, Melody is still frightened of humans and could react out of fear. So Dr. McKim must administer the vaccines quickly and safely.
Yay, look at that. Alrighty. Bingo. Oh, we were so good.
She did seem a little nervous, but she didn't panic at all. We were able to get all of her shots, and that was the thing that kind of worried me the most. Gonna get Melody back home, get her back settled in the house. I've got a dog trainer coming over later today to kind of help me kind of go to the next step with her and see what we can do to get her over her fear of strangers.
If the training session works out with Melody, this could all be positive. Steps in the right direction.
Ed and Nicole are patiently waiting for the heartworm test result. If it's positive, this could cause Clover's adoption chances to decrease tremendously.
Definitely trying to keep my hopes up that she's going to be negative. It's a pretty high percentage that she's going to have them, but just keeping my fingers crossed. She's positive.
She is?
Yeah. But yeah, she's
yes.
Having heartworms will require Clover to be on a routine medical treatment, and her activity level will be extremely limited.
Well, that sucks. I was really hoping that by some miracle she was negative. That's a lot for one animal to handle, and the fact that we just keep kind of stacking problems on top of each other. It not only makes it hard for her, but it's going to make her harder to really push onto an adopter where, this is this great dog, but she has this wrong. Oh, and she has this wrong. Oh, and two more things. It's just, at some point, adopters usually stop listening and move on to the next animal. Man, that sucks.
Nicole is still unsure about what is causing Clover's ears to look so dirty, and is worried it could be ear mites.
She's having a lot of excess grease and earwax coming out of her ears, underneath her ears. It's completely soaked.
The couple who brought her in, they said that they flushed her ears.
Did they?
So,
That might have been
so there
what it
might be
was.
some residual
Because
stuff
I know
going
they
on
said
there.
they gave her a bath, so I was wondering if maybe they used
Yep.
something. Okay,
Yeah, they said they did an ear flush also.
Yeah.
Suddenly, there's a commotion on the adoption floor, as a few of the cats have escaped from their rooms.
I think she's supposed to be in room 2.
Okay, yeah, you can put her back where she was. And then we'll just try not to let the kitties out.
So it's the day after Thanksgiving, and we thought for sure it would be quiet. We figured people would be traveling with families, whatever, but for some reason, everyone in the world is here. And unfortunately, some of our visitors have let some cats out of the cat rooms. Is this like cat escape day? Come on, Bing Bing. Oh, Bing Bing, where do you think you're going? Where did she come out of? Was it 3? So I'm having to wrangle, the staff is having to wrangle cats, and my office happens to be in the cat area, so some of them end up in my office, and it's just another crazy day at Pet Helpers.
Van has just arrived at Brian's house to give him a few pointers on how to domesticate Melody and alleviate her fear of humans.
Hey, how
how's
are
it
you?
going?
Brian, I'm Van.
Hi, Brian Foster, come on in. I'm hoping that Van can help me out. I've been working with her for a long time, and while she has come a long way with me, she still acts the same way when strangers come over.
So if you're afraid of me, approach me, okay? I want you to approach me. I'm gonna turn away from you and just walk slightly away. I'm not gonna make direct eye contact with you, because the last thing you want me to do is, if you're afraid of me, is to try and hug you or interact with you. Hey, Brian, how's it going? That seems friendly to me, but to a frightened dog or a frightened animal or a frightened human, That's really threatening. The only thing you should be thinking at any moment when you're working with her is, what can I do to make Melody the most comfortable? And right now for her, the most comforting thing we can do is to take all possible pressure off of her. So you want to see if you can get her
I'll see if I can get
come
her
out?
to get out here.
Okay.
Okay. She's on guard. She's not wanting to go outside because people are outside. So the only way I could think of to get her outside was to let the rest of the dogs outside, because she learns so much from the other dogs and gets a little bit of courage from being around other dogs. Calliope, sit. Sit.
Maybe we could put those dogs on leashes. So I asked Brian to put Peanut on leash so that we could keep her from interacting with me unless I wanted her to, but she was there to provide a signal and a set of cues to Melody that I'm okay and that Melody's okay. So it's important for Melody that she have another dog present when she encounters a human, because it's such an intense situation that she feels the absence of her pack, just the way we would feel if we were out in the woods and you thought somebody was after us and I left you. It would multiply your fear incredibly, and so it does the same thing for her. The goal is for her to be adopted to another family. But if she can't learn to accept strangers, then the potential for her to be adopted is very low. And so what we need to do is help Brian understand the methods and the steps to follow when strangers come over. Let's say that I had a $100 bill in my hand, or a $50 bill. But the rule is you can take the $50 bill if you let me punch you in the face. You should feel happy if somebody presents you with a $50 bill. And instead, what's going to happen is that I show you a $50 bill, your heart's going to start to race because I've created an aversive.
You know, that's an interesting perspective because she is so fearful, and we don't want her to have a negative association with people or treats.
Put the $50 bill down, and instead of punching you in the face, I turn and walk off and go, that $50 is all yours. So the first thing you're going to do with her is treat and retreat. She's going to see you give her food, but you're not going to be present, you're not going to face her, you're not going to expect anything from her. I'm also going to feed this dog so she can see that I'm feeding that dog. Did she go eat the treat?
She's smelling for him.
She's smelling for him? Good. I'm going to see whether or not she'll even be curious. Humans are upright and dogs are on all fours. So the fact that we are so much taller than dogs makes us way more threatening than we want to be in a situation where we're dealing with a frightened dog. She get more curious or less curious? Brian?
Van is testing a theory to see if it will reduce Melody's fear of humans by lying down, in the hope that she will no longer see him as a threat.
She get more curious or less curious? Brian?
She's getting more curious.
More curious. This is the least threatening I can be. And then I'm just going to get up from where I am right now, but I'm going to leave some treats behind and leave this spot. And tell me if she goes to get the treats.
Yep.
Yep. And it's happening more and more quickly. Each time I left a treat, it took her subsequently less time to cross that boundary, so that the third time I left the treat, it took her a third as long to go get it as it did the first time I dropped it. If I'm moving to touch her, I'm not going to look at her. I'm going to do this. Come here, Peanut. I'm going to continue to turn away. There we go. Now again, she was checking me out, and so I removed as much pressure as I could. It was really gratifying to know that in just a few minutes I could get Melody to relax, lying down, leaving treats, and I never made direct eye contact with her. I always used my peripheral vision. All right, let's call it a day for now and let her get back with her pack. I feel extremely confident that Brian's going to be able to take the information I've given him and transmit that information to his friends when they come over, so that she understands that humans are not a threat.
I'm very glad that Van came out today. He's a volunteer at Pet Helpers just like I am. The fact that he's donating his time and his talent to help me out and to help Melody out and to help animals out, I'm very thankful for him to come out here and do that. This last little tip is going to help her get that extra confidence that she needs so that she can go to a permanent home and become that family pet that somebody wants.
Clover spent the past 3 years of her life caged inside a chicken coop, so Nicole has decided to foster her for a few days, where she can finally sleep in a warm bed and be nursed back to health.
Come on. Good girl. Do you know how to get in the car? I really don't want her first experience outside of the chicken coop to be in a kennel. I just feel like she deserves a little more than having to spend her first night just, locked up in a different place. I think it would just be really nice to get to know her, see what her ups and downs are gonna be, see how bad her anxiety might be, and really just give her a chance to kind of, fit in somewhere and gain some weight. I've had a lot of really skinny fosters and I love to fatten them up, so.
Today on Give Me Shelter.
It's okay, it's okay.
After a bitter cold sweeps across the South, Dee Dee scrambles to rescue a family of free-roaming cats before they freeze.
Okay, so there's a black and white one, and we haven't seen that one, have we?
A group of challenging dogs is transported to Pet Helpers in an effort to prevent them from being euthanized. But did the staff get more than they bargained for?
Hey, come here, stop. She's teaching him to be rough.
Dee Dee has just received a call from an acquaintance about a family of free-roaming cats outside an assisted living center. To save them from the cold and prevent overpopulation, she must trap the kittens and their mother as soon as possible.
I got involved in the Trap, Neuter, Release program through Pet Helpers. Trap, Neuter, Release is basically a program that assists in getting community cats as well as feral cats fixed, meaning spayed and neutered, vaccinated, ear-tipped, and putting them back into the community.
A bitter cold has just swept through the South. Dee Dee is worried that 2 of the 4 kittens may not have made it through the night.
I lose sleep thinking about this stuff a lot of the times, knowing that they're out there cold and trying to stay warm and that kind of thing. And I'm just hoping that they just one made it through the night.
Can we pick them up with our hands?
Now, I wouldn't try it because they're kind of scared and they can tear you up.
I think that we could get the kittens, don't you?
It's just important and critical to trap them in a humane trap so that you don't want to get bitten or scratched and then be sent to the hospital for injuries.
There goes the mother.
Where'd she go?
She's going that way. Kitty, kitty, come on, Mommy. Come on. It's okay. She went into the bushes.
Danya has just transferred a group of dogs from an overcrowded shelter. In an effort to prevent the dogs from being euthanized, pet helpers volunteered to take the dogs in. But now they are facing the same overcrowding issue, and some of the dogs might be a challenge.
We are scrambling right now to find housing. We don't know where we're going to put everybody.
Sometimes even when we don't have as much space as we'd like to do a transport, we'll jump in anyways. Whether it's to help a shelter move towards a no-kill movement, whether it's to prevent dogs from being euthanized, sometimes we have to almost pack them in like sardines to save a couple more lives.
Do you want to go and set him up in my office? Okay. Who's the skittish dog?
The big brown pit, the huge brown.
The one that ran away?
Yes, the one that tried to escape.
He's not skittish.
Don, I can barely block him from going out the kennel.
Oh.
Yeah, he's gonna have to be.
No, I'm gonna go work with him right now. I'm gonna fix that.
Okay. No, go open the door. We've got this dog that might possibly try and bolt out with inexperienced volunteers, and the last thing we need is a dog running around on the floor and we've got this much barking. And if we've got dogs, you know, that are getting away from volunteers that are running around on the floor, and then we have another possibly dog reactive dog that's being walked at the moment, you know, it could turn into a fight, it could turn into injuries.
That little kitten is still over there at the door. You want me to pick the kitten up? If I can.
I am set on using traps because that is the only way that I am going to do it personally. I've experienced things that can happen that go wrong. I don't want anybody to be hurt. I don't want her to be hurt. I don't want to be hurt. If you pick them up by the scruff of the neck and they twist around and turn around and scratch you, you're going to drop them, or they're going to turn around and somehow bite you. What I'd like to do is to put this food in here. And let's just kind of walk off a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Here comes this other little baby. Going in. There he goes. The little orange kitty cat is sniffing around the trap. I think he's going to probably go in.
It's okay, it's okay.
All right, you got that one down. He's not getting out of there, so got 3 more to go.
Kitty, kitty. Come on. Psst, psst, psst.
I'm hoping that any of them will come out with the food being shaken. I hope they feel safe enough to come out. We'll see what happens.
Kitty, kitty. Psst, 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 psst. Come on. Hey, kitty, kitty. Hey. Are the white ones in the bushes? Come on. Dee Dee, the gray and white kitten was right here in the bushes, and it just went in the pipe.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Nanette to come back in, hang out inside where it's quiet out there, so maybe they'll feel safe enough to come out. Okay. She's getting ready to go in, and she's sniffing.
So I'm gonna go and check out this alleged escape artist and see how bad he actually is. You're so skittish. Turns out that I really don't think he is that bad at all. I'm not sure if it was an environmental thing with the other shelter or the other staff members, but he is already settling down here, and I don't really anticipate him being such a problem. Cole, the only thing that's skittish about that dog is nothing. He is totally fine.
Okay.
He was like giving me a bath with his tongue.
Well, as soon as a volunteer lets him run around the adoption floor, I'll come grab you. Danya just came back and gave him her like stamp of approval. So, you know, maybe the whole feel of this shelter and, you know, the way our kennels are set up, maybe that'll actually work for him.
Who's left back here right now?
Here, it's the one that had discharge, the brown one, and then little mini Captain. All dogs bark, and you know, a lot of dogs are more vocal than others, and even when a real rowdy dog starts to bark, even the dogs that are always quiet and never bark, they'll start barking. And so once that starts, it's really a chain reaction. Everybody's loud, everybody's noisy.
Before I got them in the van, they had started to have concerns about him being dog aggressive, so we pulled him off the van, and I said, no, we're gonna just test him, and I should start doing that too, testing them right outside and seeing. But he's super mouthy. Like, he is, I don't think he's aggressive, but immediately he jumped on the hound and was like, ah, like mouthing them all up. Gemini too, though, was a nutcase, and she was our like safer, you know, our assessment dog. So Gemini was really reactive, but then outside the cage, she actually was one of our best behaved dogs. I think we'll just have to let it play out and hope for the best and just really keep our fingers crossed that it is just cage reactivity.
Aw, look at that. Is that not sweet? The mommy kitty is a very smart little girl, but if she fears that something's going on or something's wrong, she will haul tail. And usually they haul tail with her. They know something's going on. They think that there's a threat, obviously.
I think that we would have better luck just putting food in the bowl, and we sit there in the rocking chair and let them come up. That's what they're accustomed to doing. And then do you throw a sheet over them then?
No, I don't handle them. I'm not gonna do that. For safety reasons, and you know, I've got, see my finger? That's from a cat bite. That's from a cat bite. See the difference? Well, if you want to go out there and try to get them to come over, that's fine. You can do that. They're used to you being, you can sit there and...
Okay.
Hey, kitty kitty. Yeah.
What do you want me to do? Pick her up?
Can you? She probably will not like it.
Come on. Oh.
What do I do now?
Hey. It's okay.
What do you want me to do?
Okay, it's all right. Maybe I can pet it and touch it and put it in the trap manually. Hi, baby. Come here. Hey, darling. Hello. Come here. Come here.
Okay, what do you do?
She's getting a little antsy right now.
Dee Dee is unsure if it is safe enough for her to grab the mother cat and place her in the trap. If she isn't careful, she could end up getting bitten or scratched, which can often lead to a serious infection and injury.
Come on. Come on. Come on. If I don't catch her now, Lord only knows she may end up pregnant again. So in my mind, I'm thinking, do I need to go ahead and just scruff her and put her in the trap? Yes, I'm taking a risk, but I'm willing to take that chance, I guess. She seemed comfortable enough with me doing that to her. So when she just didn't move after I did it, I just went ahead and made the decision to put her in the trap.
So what will happen now?
We're gonna have to try to catch the babies tonight.
The babies will come out.
They will?
I think so.
Well, we'll set the drop trap up tonight. That's all I mean.
It's gonna be cold.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a black and white one, a gray and white one, and what's the other color? The little
Mixed.
tortie?
Yeah.
Okay, like her. And we haven't seen that one, have we? I'm gonna just go ahead and cut my losses now. I got 2 cats. I'm gonna go ahead and drive them to the clinic. I need to get back there now because they usually ask me to drop them off at 10, and it's going on 11 o'clock now.
Dee Dee is setting up traps in the hope that the remaining kittens will be captured overnight. For now, the main focus is getting the kitten and his mother to the shelter, with fingers crossed that they are both healthy and the kitten is young enough to be socialized and adopted. The staff has managed to find space for the dogs from today's transport and are handling some of the more challenging cases. A feral puppy named Odie is afraid of humans and will need to be socialized immediately.
Trying to figure out if we're gonna need to put him into foster care because he's just on that fence where he's skittish enough, not with the other dogs,
obviously,
but with people, that he just pulls away, you know, and I think if we throw him in a kennel, I don't know if he's gonna get enough socialization.
He's of age to be neutered and be placed on the adoption floor, but I'm kind of skittish to do that on the simple fact that he's not very human friendly. Now we have this situation of this cute little dog that is highly adoptable in looks, but behavior-wise, he has a long way to go.
It's always incredible to me how feral and skittish dogs open up
to other dogs.
Yeah. And they really can learn from them to be social with people. So the best thing to do with an under-socialized dog is to bring another dog into the picture. It helps them feel comfortable and confident, and they also can then pick up on that dog's behavior toward people, and they'll be more likely to do well with people. Hey, come here, stop. Let me go try to I'm gonna try to get a different dog because she's teaching him to be rough.
The dog that we chose is a wonderful dog. She just plays a little rough. That's not gonna be good for Odie either because the last thing we need to do is teach him from fear to aggression. Aggression is definitely not the way we wanna go, so we're gonna try another dog.
Yeah. This is another dog from the transport, so we'll see.
Hey, baby.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't even know if he's good with dogs.
Put your hackles down. There's no need for hackles. No need for those.
Don't be mean. He may need an older dog. Hey.
The second dog wasn't too happy about Odie. He really didn't want to be bothered with this puppy, which is typical for older dogs. Who is this?
That's another one from the transport today.
Well, but do you think if we put him in our foster, do you think there's an aspect that he'll bond to that one person, opposed to if we put him on the floor and somebody takes him home every night, that he'll get used to different people? Therefore, when somebody approaches him, that he might be used to that?
I think that's a great point.
Because I've taken dogs home before that are really, really scared and fostered them for months, and they're fine with me.
Yes. That's a good point.
But as soon as I put them on the floor, they're like, who is these people touching me?
He really needs to learn right now that all humans are good. Her point of making sure that we transfer the puppy to a different home every night will ensure that that happens. It's always a gamble when you have socialization needs with dogs. I am going to put my faith in the staff and just hope for the best that we're able to fix this puppy.
Dee Dee has just arrived at the spay-neuter clinic with the mother cat and one of her 4 kittens. She is still unsure if the kitten is young enough to be socialized and adopted, or if he will need to be released back with his mother.
We're gonna take that little orange and white one in. I'm gonna foster him, take him home with me after he's fixed, and I'll make a determination as to whether I can turn him around, and if I can't, we'll release. I'll have to bring him back in and get him an ear tip and turn him out.
Okay.
Ear tipping is a means in which the veterinarian will trim off the very tip of the cat's ear to visually see that that cat has been spayed or neutered. I don't want to ear tip the kitten yet because I want to see if he's able to be adopted out. If he's not, then we'll go back and ear tip him. The age of these kittens is about 3 months old, and typically that is kind of beyond taming them up. And it's questionable whether the shelter will even take them at that age. But if they're friendly enough, well, I'm willing to foster them. The mother will get an ear tip. And do microchip her.
Okay.
And register everything to me.
Okay.
Assisted living facility manager has asked that the cat be brought back to the facility. She'll be happy there being cared for. As far as the kitten is concerned, I've got to make a decision as to whether this kitten is going to be able to be adopted out. If he's not able to be adopted out, then I will get him fixed and take him back and release him back.
Hey, sweet girl. Yeah, I know you're stressed out, baby. You still have to spend the night out in the cold. Are you in a nice warm place right now?
You know, I have a concern about all the cats out there and it being as cold as it was last night. I just hope that they're going to hang in there and be able to survive the cold tonight.
Odie has spent the night at 6 different foster homes over the last week. Since being neutered, vaccinated, and socialized, he is well on his way to being fully domesticated and ready for adoption.
Look, he's already looking and sitting right next to you.
So
I can't believe that in 1 week.
So this is socialization at its best.
It is quite amazing that in just 1 week's time, he is already coming when he's called and looking to people. I'm really pleased with what progress he's made. So maybe we should try to focus on finding him a home that has another dog, a social dog.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to be an only dog home. I totally agree. At that age, it's kind of on the fence. He could have went either way. He could have totally rejected human affection, but luckily for us and him, he embraced human affection and has now turned into this sweet, lovable puppy who is going to be highly adoptable.
I think that we definitely made the right choice.
Yeah, I do too. You can't save everybody, but you can surely save one, and you did. You saved him, and now he's going to be great.
I am very glad that I saved him. He is adorable, and he really deserved a chance. Oh.
Hey, look at your feet in there.
Both the mother and her kitten have been issued a clean bill of health and were spayed and neutered. After fostering the kitten for a few days, Dee Dee determined that he is friendly enough to be adopted, and the mother was returned to the assisted living center. Dee Dee was also able to trap another kitten and bring her into the shelter to be spayed and vaccinated.
It's all about saving lives, controlling the population, cutting down on diseases, and making cats happy, because that's really what it's about.
I am really relieved that I work for an organization that always goes above and beyond and takes each case individual and puts together individual plans for those animals. We don't run like a factory here. We're not trying to just mass produce homes for these animals. We want to make sure that the animal, the people, and ourselves are all set up for successful placement.